So in my dream, I had it when I was maybe 11 or 12 years old. But in this dream, I was in my nana's old house from before she moved away. She used to live like 2 minutes drive up the road from us, and I'm sitting in this big reclining like armchair thing that she had in her living room, right in front of the TV, like a meter away from the TV, and I'm watching Cartoon Network, and she's just sort of standing ominously beside the TV cabinet, like looking at me, and I'm just like this small little kid, and I'm just sitting here with the remote, and I'm sort of like looking at her, going like, "All right." And I've got this vague feeling that, my family's about, but everyone's, away doing something. Everyone's kind of disappeared. And suddenly my nana just starts swaying on the spot like that. And you just can tell that something's going to happen. And I start, one version of me starts running out the door, shouting, "Kirsten! Kirsten!" for my little cousin, and she must have only been about 9 at the time, but for some reason I was just so convinced that the presence of my cousin Kirsten was going to help, and I'm going, "Kirsten! Kirsten!" out the door, and the disembodied voice of my little baby brother at this time was going, "She's nowhere to be seen. She must be on the tire swing." So obviously I'm going to get no help, and I'm the other version of me that is still sitting in this armchair is looking at my nana, and she's swaying like that, and all of a sudden she just sort of goes rigid like that and starts to tip, and you can see it happening in slow motion. She lands with the edge, the edge of your head on this sort of marble fireplace thing, and it was like a movie. It's sort of big fat Matrix slow motion, 360 flying through the air, and landed right next to her, and it wasn't gory or anything. It was in a cartoon where the head just sort of pops off, and I'm so absolutely petrified and freaked out about this, because who wants their nana to have their head pop off? And I'm shouting, "Kirsten! Kirsten! No, Kirsten! Get the bandages!" And obviously no help is coming, and the last thing that I remember is my the cartoon disembodied dismembered head of my nana is looking up at me and going, "So how do you like me now?" sort of thing. And I woke up at that point, but I just remember being petrified by this dream for months, and it kept coming back as well in different forms, but pretty much the same thing. And then I managed to get rid of it after a while. I don't know, I guess I just sort of grew up out of that. But then last year, when I was 19, this not this dream exactly, but it was like a sequel to this dream sort of came back. It was like Dream 2, Revenge of the Grandmother. And but that's a story for a different time.